All right, next let's talk about 15 local franchise marketing agencies. The big distinction here is that elsewhere on this article, I talk about franchise ad agencies. These are going to be mainly for franchise development, and there's a bigger variety of groups that do local advertising. And to be honest, part of that is because it's more lucrative. If you have a group that's as an agency, if I'm doing franchise development for a group, back at the envelope, it's probably like $1,000 a month as an agency you're charging. Whereas if you're doing local advertising, maybe it's $300 per month per location, but you've got 100 locations, so it's a $30,000 a month contract. That's why you're going to see a lot more groups that are interested in that type of a situation. So let's talk about some of these. I would say number one, again, I'm biased, is going to be us here at Lead PPC. The reason I say that is because if you understand everything that it takes to do the franchise development side of it, the local is actually, in most cases, quite a bit easier, and the keyword overlap is easier. And since we've worked with over 200 different clients across almost every major industry that's out there, we already have maps built out for what works in most different industries. And so for a long time, we didn't do local advertising. I'd say over the last 5 years, it's something we've really started to focus on. So yeah, if you do need local advertising and or franchise development lead generation, we would definitely love to talk with you. Feel free to go to that contact us section and book an appointment with us right there, and love to talk with you. Every situation's different, and actually the proposals on these take a little bit of understanding to really dive into, but yeah, I would love to talk with you. Next I would say is Scorpion. Again, they're just big in the space, and they have a lot of financial backing, and they do an okay job. Right after that, though, I would say is Ninth Root. What I like about Ninth Root is if you need help organically, they do a good job. We only do pay-per-click advertising, so we've actually had a lot of shared clients across over the last decade with Ninth Root, them doing the SEO and us doing the pay-per-click, and that's worked out well. But I think they do a good job with local. After that, we're going to get into Fanatics. As far as these guys go, it's not a group that I've actually talked with before, but they do rank number one organically for local franchise marketing, which I think is probably the most important term in this space. So the fact that they know how to do that says, is a strong bid for them. After that, we get into Curious Jane. I've talked about them before, but I think that they do a good job of, especially when it comes to coordinating and creating synergies between national ad budgets and local franchise marketing. So that's something to keep in mind. Reshift Media, these guys have worked with 200 plus brands, so similar to us, and 25,000 plus locations across 22 countries. So they definitely have a lot of experience in local. That's one to kind of keep in mind of. I don't know that they do anything with franchise development, but they do local stuff, quite a bit of it. The next one, these guys at Choice Local, and I'll bring up their website real quick. So if you go to these guys, they have some interesting benchmarks. I hope that the numbers on here are accurate, but what they say is that the average client has a 282% increase in new customer inquiries, $15.54 in customer revenue for every $1 they spend. So they're saying like you get a 15x, which I don't know. A lot of these agencies, I don't know, like really made that their big push to really define that exact number the same way that these guys do. But I mean, it's compelling, and a 96% annualized client retention rate. I I will say with local, a lot of times you can, if you have like three big local groups that you work with, a lot of times local you stay with them for a lot of years because it's so hard to transition all your franchisees over to something else. I don't know. That seems a little like to say you're basically never losing clients. I don't know, maybe. And then they also donate 10% of their profits back to help others. After that, we've got Hyper Locology, kind of a hard name to say, but they work in franchising, financial services, and retail. So it's not just franchising, but they do work with quite a few multi-location brands, and it's important to them. Then there's Kigo. I've talked about them before. They've been around for a while. Definitely a franchise ad agency type of thing. I don't know much about their local stuff, so I can't really speak to that. Then we have Sales Optima Digital. These guys provide local SEO, paid search, social, and a lot of those types of services. Don't know much about their quality. I have heard of this number 11, Silvercrest Advertising. They're more of like an overall marketing partner. They also have tools for territory management. Again, you see this pop up with National Ad Fund budgeting, bar, coupon barcode scanning, grand opening automation. So they have like some really kind of interesting things that they do that are above and beyond what you might find from other agencies out there. That's the types of services they have, especially when you get into print advertising. They must have been around for a long time because a lot of groups will not mess with print. But if some of those things like print and having swag and email marketing and all that is stuff that you need help with, then Silvercrest Advertising may be one to consider. The next one is going to be Brand Muscle, similar to Silvercrest, a lot of the same types of stuff. Then Sochi, but they have over 600 multi-location brands that use it, and it's more like a tool. But I included them in here because I think that those types of tools, there's a need for that in the marketplace, and maybe you don't necessarily need like an agency, but having a tool that could work for you could work. But I didn't put them super high on the list because I don't know how high touch they are. Next, we have Elysium Marketing Group. They're out of Philadelphia. They have 16 brands they work with. And lastly, we have Local Hero. And I have links to all these different sites. If you're on the web page, you can click on them and kind of go check them out. So hopefully it's helpful for you.